welcome to Let's Play Dark Souls. Yeah, it was only a matter of time before I got around to Let's Playing Dark Souls. I've recently been playing Dark Souls 2 again. I have that on the PS3, but I have Dark Souls on in Steam, on the PC, on the computer, on the big multimedia device of towerness. And anyway, in playing Dark Souls 2, I was recently trying some new playstyles I hadn't done before, and I got to thinking, I could go back and try this in Dark Souls 1, namely doing a dexterity character that didn't A, still use a tower shield, or B, completely rely on the Great Scythe. Of the Great Scythe. Such a wide range. They did fix the Great Scythe to be a little bit more balanced in Dark Souls 2 by requiring you to actually be a certain range from the target, instead of being able to point blank somebody with a scythe, which made little sense. Point being, I thought it could be interesting for me to record, and I thought I would also go ahead and do the webcam. It's been a little over 5 weeks since the wreck. I could technically go without the neck brace for periods of time, as long as I'm. Sorry about that slight jump cut. Program in the background began beeping and doing things. What I was going to say is it's been about a little over 5 weeks, right at 5.5 weeks since the wreck. I can technically go a little bit without the neck brace, as long as I'm careful and not up running around the house or bending certain ways. But in the interest of, behaving, I'm supposed to wear it for 6 weeks, so I did find out that I can fold the extra padding. That was one of the problems with the headset. I can fold that down into there and wear the headset comfortably, so that's certainly a plus. Also, a friend of mine just a few minutes ago showed me that if you use Steam's Big Picture mode, one of the biggest problems I had with Dark Souls on the PC was you can't remap the control scheme, which, depending on which controller you use, is fine. I have a kind of Chinese knockoff Power A. I mean, I don't mean any racial offense there. It says made in China on the back. It's a very good controller. It's a very solid controller. And I've had no problems with it. But when you plug it into Dark Souls, the buttons are in strange places. The start button and the right joystick trigger for targeting, for instance, is backwards. And the X is where the triangle should be. No, it's mixed up. 3 of the buttons are in the wrong place. Well, I found out that through Big Picture mode, there's a way for Steam to grab the input from this, change it to where it needs to be, and then send it to the game, a generic controller configuration option that I didn't know was in there. I've tried in the past using programs like Xpadder to do it. They work on everything I found except Dark Souls. It then would duplicate the input and do some really weird things that just wasn't pleasant. I've played it before with the controller as it is, and it's just, you develop a reflex for it. But since I had just played Dark Souls 2 recently, I was having some minor issues. I actually played to the Asylum demon before I decided to go ahead and make a Let's Play of this. I kept talking myself into and talking myself back out of it, and well, here we are. I also talked myself into doing the webcam since I figured out I could fold the padding down. It just makes the padding goes up to here, and every time I move my head, it does that and makes noise. So I also moved the camera to the top right since Dark Souls has a heads-up display on the top left. I'm gonna go ahead and okay, the start button doesn't always. There we go. No, not load game, new game. Okay, come on. I have to type. Yes, I know, I'm trying to enter the name. Okay, what is... Okay. Or not. I'm trying to figure out what to go with. I would do the anonymous thing, but a character named Anonymous would just be kind of weird. I mean, I could do binary. Yeah, that'll work. Anyway, character creation is not exactly the most amazing, fun. Okay, I tested this in-game. It worked. It's just not behaving itself at this juncture, so I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. Like I mentioned, I'm going to do dexterity. So I'm going to go ahead and run with the thief class, the old witch's ring. Average. Ponytail, black. And accept. Yes.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Asylum and her daughters of chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skills. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath, the scales, betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign.
Okay, there we go. I took the webcam off for the opening. I always loved how the tiny rats.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
The little rats there are just a tiny version of the larger rat enemies. Like, same skin, same model. Well, of course, the same model. Same skin. Little undead rats. Undead mice. The rats are the big ones. Why did you throw a dead body in here at me? Like, couldn't you have just thrown the key? In what world does glowing flame hovering over something mean, hey, there's something here? I mean, I know interface reasons for that, but the body also looks very different outside of the cutscene. The grayer texture. But why didn't he just throw the key? Yes, the buttons work properly. When you develop reflexes for certain buttons, it's very nice when they or where your brain says they should be, or where your reflexes say they should be. And now I'm still trying to, out of habit, the wrong key. Okay, that's so much better. Why did I do that? I'm sorry, random stranger. I'm going to leave now before I punch you again for no reason whatsoever. I should not be trusted around people. The roll key and the X key on this controller are normally backwards, so I'm just off old muscle memory rolling when I'm meaning to read the messages. Hello, person taking a bath. If you see me hesitate at first, it's because I'm still fighting with my reflexes. Also, this episode's probably going to run a little bit long because of the whole opening cutscene and intro taking up a chunk of time. It'd be kind of boring if, 90% of the episode was that. Light the bonfire. Oh, there's also a thing. I forgot to show the thing. I hope this doesn't do anything. I completely ran past it before. Well, my whole incident with punching that random guy. And he's still staring at me in the most bewildered way. No, don't fight me. Leave me alone. That's what I was going to look at. The stray demon. Just wandering around, as stray demons often do. The large axe. I'm going to leave now. I think that guy is still mad at me. You saw him run at me. I managed to break it here once, long ago. One leg stretched and got really long to reach the ground. I've never been able to replicate that bug. Not that I've spent a bunch of time trying, mind you. I mean, a few minutes. But back to what we were doing. We're going here. Through this door. Into our certain doom. But I can see you up there, you goober. Look at him. Up there, waiting. I know you're up there. Leave me alone. I'm gonna go this way. And for those wondering why I don't plan on fighting, 2 damage. That's one. That's one. You go elsewhere. I ain't messing with you. You get a weapon if you beat him. Technically, it's intended for it to be a New Game Plus thing, but I don't have the patience to sit here and poke him with a broken sword. So I'm just gonna light this bonfire and continue on my merry way. I ain't got time for that. It's your shield. Yay, it has a shield. shield. Ah. Get back here, you. Weakest backstab ever. But it can now be said that I did backstab him. Okay, there we go. We're gonna just move on and not say a word about that. To the fog wall that you're supposed to know what to do with. I want it. I don't know what it is, but I want it. Eh. Up the stairs we go. No, down the stairs we go. Fly, my magical bricks that weigh oddly nothing. Physics needs weight. Otherwise, objects just kind of fly around. Hello, sir. You're the guy that threw that body at me.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness.
Hope you
I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I are both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Okay.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family, "Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know." Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask, an undead favorite.
Yay!
Oh, and this.
Yay! A key. I need all the keys.
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
I'm going to stand here and stare at you for 5 hours. I don't have the patience for that. Found you. Aha! Stabbed yourself. I shall absorb your souls. Or soul. Also, big metal ball that is there for no good reason. I mean, I know it rolled down the stairs, but what it's doing up the stairs, nobody knows. Oh, on the topic of the soul thing. Recent thing I've been pondering. Ponder many. I need to get life. Is that the number of souls is not actually the number of souls, but the measure of the energy of the total amount, the total energy of the souls the character has absorbed, and I hit the wrong key off reflex. That is going to make me killed so much. You get used to it being wrong, and then you got to get used to it being right again. But yeah, I think the idea is that that's the unit of like how much energy. Like, Hollow randomly doesn't have 20 souls bouncing around in its body, it's just got 20 units of... Its soul is 20 units large. You could... Yeah, it's hard to put it to words properly. Bleed damage is so much fun in Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 2 kind of broke it. I mean, it's good for player versus player, but Dark Souls 1 it does percent max health damage when you build up the bleed bar. In Dark Souls 2 it does 200 flat damage and then reduces stamina to 75%. Which is great for player versus player, but it's not going to do you a lot of good versus enemies. In Dark Souls 2. In the first game you can use it against bosses, such as we're about to do. I hear you. I'm gonna jump on your face. One thing I've been contemplating lately is I have a tendency to circle to the left. I notice a lot of people circle to the right. I wonder if people have a certain directional tendency or if it has to do with the fact that I'm left-handed. And bleed damage. He's doing a lot more flying than he used to him doing. I'm getting hit very badly. Stab it! Ow. I forgot how instantaneous the Estises are in Dark Souls 1. The second game, it's more of a good way to heal. I gotta keep. Anyway, I'm gonna go this way. Door that has no locking mechanism at all, but uses a key. Because why not? Let's go this way. Oh, that's right, this is a different area. To the cliff!
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
Bird!
To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords.
Fly, magic bird.
Lordran.
It even has Lord in the title. Random bird. Well, Snuggly the crow. Giant crow. Why crow be giant? I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and test around.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Look at my shield. Also, top center of the screen, you can see the crow. Just photobombing for some reason. Yo, crow. How did I never notice that crow? Like, in earlier playthroughs, I had to find a guide to find out that the crow was there. I'm gonna go pester him.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thoroland. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
He's from the land of thoroughness.
Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this, as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
Hey, a coin.
Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you?
Yay.
Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
Not that that's going to do me much good at this point. think it's the way of life.
Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
Learn to
Come again. The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
backstab. No, I'm not. Link syndrome. Must break all the pots. More pots. And with that out of the way, I believe this episode is winding to a close. Very long. I'm used to level up being the top of the list. I think. I'm gonna go ahead and start bumping that up because I like having lots of stamina. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and pause here, and I will see you next time.